So I'm holding the board and the spacer. I'm holding the nail gun like this. This was my first mistake. When I shot the nail in, it actually turned, came out the bottom, shot through the fatty part of this finger, and nicked the next finger to it.
Alright, so this is the second video that we're doing in a series called our back porch oasis. Basically, we're giving you a tour of our back porch and showing you some of the things that we built, some of the things that we've done, and we've also got a couple other things that we're going to build too, and we're going to walk through that with you too as we continue to progress through this.
So one of the reasons that we built this, you would think, you know, it's called a privacy wall, so we did it for privacy. Not really. We did it more so because the sun sets. I'm gonna assume this is what, the west, if it sets in the west. And so usually when we want to come out here, Jeremy's off work, the sun is like beaming down and almost makes it unbearable to sit out here. So not really for privacy, more so as a sunscreen. One of the added benefits, besides blocking the sun, is it honestly blocks a lot of the wind. It's a really windy day here, and so normally like everything would be blowing across the porch, but because we have the screen, it kind of breaks it.
When we started this off, there was absolutely nothing back here. So there wasn't any of these posts or anything. The only post that we had was this post here in the corner. And so we knew that we wanted to be able to build this in some way that would basically pull off of that post and go all the way across. And then also, we wanted to make sure that it would be able to somehow attach to this top beam part up here across the top of the porch.
But ultimately, it needed to be aesthetically pleasing.
Basically what she means by that is you can buy a cap that goes on the bottom that you set your post inside of, and then you screw it into the side of the post, and it kind of helps to hold it all into place. However, one of the things that we figured out when we were building this, because I actually bought those and was going to use them, they were a little gaudy, but that post right there in the corner, newsflash, that's not even attached at the bottom. So when we were getting everything around, like we accidentally like tapped it and realized, oh, like the corner of our porch post, it can move around. And so that was once we realized that,
then we nixed that whole gaudy looking,
and then we decided to go ahead basically, and the thing about it is that now these slats are all connected to each other along with the post, and so now your posts, they can't kick out this direction anymore because they're all connected together. The only way that it could possibly go that way, but we put rails in there too, so now it's really not going anywhere. Then as far as material wise, this was pretty simple. These are 4x4s, these are 1x2s, and they're all treated. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know my dad has a sawmill, and so sometimes I have the benefit of being able to take advantage of that, and this was one of those times that it came in really handy. I will say this too though, so like for something like this is rough cut. It's never been planed, it's nothing like that, straight off the bandsaw, and that's it. And it works fine, it looks fine. So if you have the opportunity to be able to do something like that and to just get something from a sawmill, it's going to be cheaper than something that's already been planed S4S on all four sides. When we attach these, I just simply took and basically kind of like you would what they call a toenail, which you go take a nail in at an angle, only I didn't do that with a nail. I actually did it with a screw. So I just took I just lagged long screws in. I pre-drilled all that and countersunk it so that you can't really see it very well, just to kind of hide all of that. When you put these slats up, just get yourself a, you know, say like a 1-inch spacer or whatever you want. That's what these were here. You just go to putting in your spacers and coming down, and it'll help to keep it all nice and straight and level.
So one of the things you'll notice with your porch is that it slopes away. One of the things that we did, because we didn't want, you know, the slopes to interfere with the look of aesthetically this wall, so we started at the top and just kept them straight there, and then as we came down, there is a little bit of a discrepancy, but because we normally have furniture against this wall, you don't really notice it, and honestly, on the other side, you don't notice it as well. It's very minute.
When you get ready to run this and line up your posts, this is where it's going to be kind of crucial. So you want to get, and basically we took, and at the top, we snapped a chalk line across the top of this header to kind of give us a line up here, and we snapped a line down here on the bottom. That's kind of what we used to kind of keep everything square and straight as it went down through. The other thing to remember is because this post was not actually attached, basically you're fitting these posts pretty much dead perfect to fit into that space. So you kind of want to sneak up on that fit to make it fit really good. When we put this post on, this post here is the post that touches and is attached to the house, and it is literally attached to the house with Tapcon concrete screws straight directly into the brick. Also, this wall is about 14'6" from one side to the other, and we actually didn't end up using a 14'6" piece for that because, for one, it's harder to find lumber that will stay straight the longer it gets. So I'm going to take you around back and show you what we did back there. This is the wall from the other side. This is actually the joint line from all of the 1x2s. So that through us being able to use an 8-foot piece, cut it about 7 foot-ish long, to fit that spot. And then also too, on those joints, we went ahead and we caulked those. And then if you're nailing this up with a nail gun or whatever, be sure you're using a nail that is going to be able to withstand the elements. I actually didn't do that, and I should have, so I ended up kind of going back and caulking over everything. It was just one of those things that I forgot about. And I brought my nail gun out and started nailing it up, and we used the wrong nail. Speaking of nail gun.
So while we were working on this project, we were actually working on it on our anniversary. I shot a 2-inch nail through my fingers. Yes, I said through my fingers. Have I used a nail gun before? Yes, many a times. Have I ever shot a nail through my finger? Never. Well, I can't really say that now, can I? So I'm holding the board and the spacer. I'm holding the nail gun like this. This was my first mistake. When I shot the nail in, it actually turned, came out the bottom, shot through the fatty part of this finger, and nicked the next finger to it. So keep that in mind if you guys decide to do this project. Go ahead and keep those fingers out of the way. If you feel sorry for me, go ahead and hit that like button. The overall cost for this project was $175. Keep in mind, that was pre-COVID, before the lumber prices went up. And then also, we didn't actually purchase the slats because, again, my father-in-law has a sawmill. So you can probably kind of add $175 to that already $175 if you were to do this project today.
All right, so that's going to do it for us today on this privacy slat wall. If you got any questions, leave them down below in the comments. We'd love to hear what you got to say. And then, like Jessica said, also, if you feel sorry for her, be sure and hit that like button. We would appreciate that as well. And if you haven't caught the last video, be sure and catch that. We're going to link that up one more time. That's just going to be about our DIY porch rail bar. So other than that, you guys have a great week. We'll catch you next time.
See ya.